With running, you choose when you stop, you start, how fast you go. It's the same in life. You choose if you want to have a good day or a bad day, or if you want to take a positive or negative spin on things. You know, it's your choice what mental state you kind of want to be in when you're doing it. My name is Jacqui Bell, and this year, 2018, I'm aiming to be the youngest female in the world to complete Racing the Planet's 4 Desert Grand Slam. These are 4 250-kilometre desert runs across 4 of the harshest deserts in the world. And whilst aiming to do this as a personal ambition, I'm also hoping to raise awareness and funds for the White Cloud Foundation, which is a mental health charity. I had some pretty bad times for a few years there. I'd spend days on end really in bed, and I just didn't really have anything driving me to get me up and going, and I didn't really have that big purpose or a meaning to my life. It is almost go time. I've split up all my food into their days, and I've also put some little treats in there. When I chose to do the 4 deserts, that really helped give me a goal, and because there became so many people following me and encouraging me, it became a lot bigger than myself straight away. The first race is 250 kilometres through the Namibian desert. You carry everything on your back, so it's self-supported, except for water and shelter. Each day you run approximately a marathon, and then on day 4 there's a long day where you run anywhere from 80 to 100 kilometres. So race number 1, we're doing 43 kilometres today. 18 kilometres in, just past the first checkpoint. I didn't know how I'd go, how fast I'd go, what the conditions would be like, and I really surprised myself.
How you feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Day 2 today, we're running a marathon again today, so about 42 kilometres. Thick boggy sand. Last leg along the beach, we're almost to the checkpoint. Checkpoint time. A lot tougher today, the end of day 3. We've now covered over 115 k's. Day 4, the long day began, and I went out really strong. I was running with one of the front ladies for nearly 50 kilometres of it, and then I just hit a wall at 50k. I just went into a world of pain. I couldn't eat, couldn't drink any water. Mentally went right downhill and kind of got into a little rut in my own head.
Absolutely shattered. 60 kilometres into 84, and I'm just like, no.
I was by myself for such a long period of time then as well that I just couldn't get out of it. Hack off my legs, hack off my arms. I'm never doing this again. And then I remember I have to still do 50 kilometres the next few days. So it's now turning into night time.
I've got 18 kilometres to go, and I just can't stop crying, and I'm so unwell. My heat rash is like big lumps, and it is killing me.
So yesterday was the long march. It was a super rough night. It took me 18 hours. I got destroyed. I could barely walk. I was still trying to jog a little bit, but then you just take one little wrong step, and I thought I was going to snap an Achilles. They were really bad. Day 7, once again, the last 10k. I thought, oh, I'll run the 10k, finish on a really strong high note, but just physically couldn't. My Achilles wouldn't let me, so just had to push through and kind of get it done.
Pretty hard through the last 2 kilometres.
After race 1, I was a little bit dubious about what I'd signed up to do, and I was pretty concerned. I was on a walking stick for a few days after Namibia, and my Achilles were playing up and my heel, and I was battling with a few injuries. Training-wise, I was just putting in more and more hours and trying to make my training more specific by doing more training with my pack and just spending more time on the little things. I knew going into the second race that I just needed to pace myself because it is 6 stages, so it's a whole week, whereas in Namibia I was going flat stick every day. So in this race I just took it a little bit slower and I knew my limits a little bit more. Day 1 today here in the Gobi Desert. Slept really well last night. It's amazing weather. We're doing about 38 kilometres. It's going to be very competitive. Feeling pretty good. Race 2 for me, the best part was definitely the people. I just felt like I made some really amazing connections.
Go, Karen, go! All right, we're at the Aussies. How are you feeling, guys? Don't see this every day.
And throughout that week, I was running pretty much the whole time with other people. So being around other people, their energy, you can grow off that and feel pretty good. Quads are pretty sore. Feet are aching a bit, but I'm just having a bit of a sook, aren't I? Hong Song is doing it in sandals.
Yeah, sandals is so cool and dry and so comfortable.
Day number 3 today, we've got 42 kilometres. By far the best I've felt all week. Loving these technical little trails. Glorious squat tents. Long march day today, so it's just over 70 kilometres, and I just hope there's no repeats of what happened in Namibia. So 40k in, took 6 hours.
It's 50k. I am at the last checkpoint. Thinking back to Namibia, it took me nearly 19 hours to do the long march. And to think I'm going to do it today in possibly 10 and a half hours is just such a relief. Oh my God. I'm at 70 kilometers. It's 8:30 p.m. Oh, this has been rough.
My Achilles is playing up slightly, but I'm hoping that it can get through tomorrow's 30 kilometres.
Perfect, thank you. And coming into the finish. Go the girls.
Bravo!
We just keep doing. Made it to the finish, 250k. Cheers to that.
I was on a high for about a week after Mongolia, whereas Namibia, I kind of finished and just felt a bit flat almost. So yeah, Mongolia was unreal. So going into race 3, I felt really confident. I was really hoping for a top 3 finish. I'd really honed in on my equipment and my food, and I felt fairly experienced after doing 2 of the races now.
First training run.
Bien, señores.
How do I turn? 20k bike ride. Day 1. Just went through checkpoint 1.
On Chile, I won the first stage, so I did the 38 kilometres in 5 hours, so I was really happy with that. We were crossing a real variety of terrain, so there was mud flats, salt flats. There was a day with canyons, so we did 23 river crossings. Then we had sand dunes, and yeah, it was just very diverse. It really affected my foot injury, so my plantar fasciitis, and in turn I was using my left foot more, so my entire left foot was covered in blisters. It was just so painful, and I was really questioning what I was doing out there.
20k of this broccoli type stuff. Oh my God.
There was no one around in sight to kind of help lift me, so I decided just to suck it up, keep pushing on, and the pain was only temporary, and I was able to pick myself up pretty much by just keeping in a positive mindset.
And I've got another 40 kilometres to run, hobble, walk, whatever it may be. Checkpoint. We're on the never-ending salt flats.
Chile was definitely the hardest race, I'd say, but I felt really mentally strong after already doing 2 events, so I made sure I just paced myself. I couldn't have done any better than that. I missed out on the 3rd spot by about 20 minutes, so it was very close.
So we head off on the boat at about 4 or 5 p.m. and then we're on the boat for 3 days before we get to the first island in Antarctica where we'll be running.
I kind of went into Antarctica just wanting to really enjoy the last desert and have fun with it.
All right, so I'm on the boat, I'm in my room. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm really amped to start running in 3 days, actually. I have goosebumps actually talking about it right now. No one I know has been there, so I was really, really pumped up about it.
Day number 1 today. We are running up to about 12 hours, I think. So we're heading across in the Zodiac boat in about 10 minutes. Pretty awesome day so far.
clocked up about 45 kilometres.
I feel wet, but I'm alright. Maybe I'll just wait.
The most challenging bits would be the soft, sludgy snow. You're pretty much crawling through it, so what a normal kilometre takes to run, you times it by about 3 or 4, and that's how long it takes.
Feeling pretty good. Sitting in third for girls.
Today is stage 2. We are heading over to the island in about an hour.
Yeah, we were literally about 2 metres away from the penguins. Just all of the wildlife was incredible, and the scenery was like it is in photos. It's just incredible. You had to make sure you looked up and took it in. It was pretty funny actually. The only time you really stopped to take it in is if you used the portaloo. It looked like a little rubbish bin in the snow, and so if you went to the toilet, you just sat there. There was no privacy, and you'd look out at the landscape and you'd really be able to take it in, because the rest of the time you're just running and in pain. When going into the first desert, I was quite hot-headed and I'd react to things quite quickly, and I wouldn't be able to adapt to changes. Whereas now I have a different perspective of things, and you know, when things out in the desert or in everyday life are thrown at me, I'm allowed to just sit back, take a moment and figure out my next move rather than reacting in a negative way or doing something impulsively. So yeah, I think just over the course of the year I've been able to learn to control my actions a little bit more.